everyone, I'm Shimmer, and welcome to the next episode of Noobing and Nirn, a beginner's guide to Elder Scrolls Online. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about new player tips, and I'm going to give you some suggestions, ideas, tips, tricks, whatever you want to call them, to help you survive your first moments in the game and to make it a little easier on you. There will be time clicks below, so check the About section and click Show More in order to see those, and let's get started. First up is going to be some general game settings. If you notice here, by default, the game only shows your ability bar while you're in combat. I prefer to see my bar at all times, so if you want to see it, you can go to Settings, Combat, Ability Bar, and click on Always Show. This way, while you're out of combat, you can see exactly what abilities are on your bar without having to jump into combat to see it. So as you can see here now, the ability bar is always going to show. Next up involves looting, and I am an absolute loot hoover, so I don't like to have to confirm everything that I pick up. So you can go to Gameplay and Items and turn Auto Loot on so that when you loot a body, you don't have to confirm every single item that is going into your inventory. You just hit the button and bam, it's in your inventory. And speaking of looting, that brings me to my next tip, picking up everything you see. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. This bread over here, I'm going to take it. This crusty bread, this bowl, I'm not sure what was in the bowl, but I'm going to take it. This drink, because if you look in your inventory, these items are actually going to buff you. The stamina recovery, max health, max stamina, and these will give you a buff for 30 minutes. So picking up these items is beneficial to you. You'll also, if anything that you don't use, you can always sell to a vendor afterwards, so you can make money towards purchasing your mount. So pick up everything you see, especially armor, because that'll take me into my next tip, which is to wear at least one piece of each type of armor. In Elder Scrolls Online, you aren't limited to what type of armor you can wear. Any class can wear any type of armor. So it's a good idea when you're starting a character to be earning XP towards each armor line, so that later on down the road, when you hit 50, you aren't scrambling to earn XP in the heavy armor skill line if you decide you want to tank. So what we're going to do is in order to unlock the armor skill lines, you're going to have to equip 3 pieces of armor from that particular tree. So we need to find 3 pieces of medium, 3 pieces of light, or 3 pieces of heavy. And then we're going to equip them so that we unlock the skill line. And then we're going to mix and match, and we're going to look like crap, but we'll be earning XP towards each line. So once you've collected all your armor, I'm going to put on 3 homespun pieces. And as you can see, I've earned the skill line light armor. So we're going to do the same for medium. As you can see, guys, I am an absolute loot hoover. Look at all this. Look at all this crap. Anyway, so next we're going to move on to rawhide. I'm going to put on some rawhide stuff. There, I'll sort by armor, then I'll make it a little easier. Now, you only need to put on 3 to initially unlock the skill line. Once it's unlocked, you only have to be wearing 1 piece of the particular type of armor to be earning XP towards it. When you get a killing blow and you're wearing any of that type of armor, you earn some type of XP towards it. Now, the reason we want to start earning XP towards the different lines is each of these different skill lines have different passive abilities. Just so you can see the different passive abilities. Light armor will give you magicka recovery, reduce magicka cost, increase spell resist, increase spell crit, spell penetration. The medium line will give you weapon crit, stamina recovery, reduce stealth cost, and increase weapon damage. And then the heavy will give you physical and spell resistance, health recovery, increased max health, and weapon and spell damage, and increased healing received. Again, these aren't going to be very important at the beginning of the game, but later on it's helpful to just have some XP that you've already earned in it, so that later on you're not trying to rush to get XP filled in these skill lines. Just wearing 1 piece of each type will do for now. Switching over to your weapon. The way you unlock your weapon skill lines is by equipping that type of weapon and getting a killing blow. So once this guy Because once this guy dies, we're going to unlock that skill tree for destruction stuff. And as you can see, I've already increased it to 2 by that kill, and there's the new skill line. Now, the way you get XP for weapons is by purchasing a weapon skill, slotting it on your bar, and or just getting a killing blow with it. Which brings me into my next tip, which is slotting abilities. Now, you'll earn weapon XP faster by equipping a skill from that tree and putting it on your bar. Now, your class abilities and class skill trees only advance if you purchase a skill from those trees and slot them on your bar and earn XP. That means getting a killing blow, turning in a quest. Each class will have 3 trees, and each of these trees will have abilities and passive abilities. So while you may not want to use abilities from each tree, there may be some passives from a different tree that you'll want to take advantage of. You can earn XP faster towards each tree by equipping more abilities from that tree. So while you may not want to use abilities from a particular tree, the only way you can get the passives or earn XP and advance those trees is by purchasing skills and slotting them. Now, your skills in each tree will unlock at different levels. This one, for instance, unlocks at level 42, and it's not referring to your player level. This is referring to your level in that particular tree. So that's why it's important to know ahead of time, how to progress these trees. So later on down the road, you're not like, I wish I'd known that. That's what I'm here for. I'm helping you guys out. So, if you know you're going to dabble in more than one tree, purchase an ability, slot it on your bar so that you're earning XP towards that tree early. Now, each skill will also level up itself. So you increase power for each level, and then when it reaches level 4, you'll have the ability to morph it. And morphing it makes it a new, more powerful ability and adds a new effect. After you morph it, it also levels up, and again, each level will increase its powerfulness. So slot abilities, earn XP towards those trees so you're not struggling later, and level up those skills. And on to my next tip, which is remembering to spend your attribute points. Now, as you level, you will earn skill points and attribute points, and I cannot tell you how many times I have completely forgotten to spend my attribute points and been like, oh my god, why is this thing killing me so fast? Or why don't I have enough magicka to kill this mob? That's because I had forgotten to spend my attribute points. So check your character sheet, spend those points. Each point you spend will give you an increase in your magicka pool or your health pool, allowing you to take more hits. So don't forget to spend those. Those will make you more powerful. Now, I've already talked about how to increase skill levels, but there is a way you can increase these without even working for it, and that's in my next tip, which is checking bookshelves. As you're traveling around the world, you're going to see bookshelves in all different shapes and sizes scattered around the world, and just by searching them, you have a chance to increase a skill by an entire level, and that's huge. Sometimes you may even unlock a skill line just by opening a bookshelf. For instance, I don't have any crafting, and let's see if I get any crafting. Yep, clothing increased to 2. And I don't even know. I don't even craft. There's a blacksmithing. I don't craft, but it's level 2. So, as you're traveling, remember to check and search each bookshelf you see, just to see if you're gonna get an increase to a skill. It is completely random as to if it's going to level you up and what it would level up. So. Mages guilds are excellent places to find bookshelves, but be sure to remember to check those. Oh, yep. Unlock some skill lines there. My next tip is going to involve Wayshrine traveling, or traveling in general. You may be out in the wild and you want to travel somewhere, so you open your map and you look, and it's only 146 gold. That's not too bad to recall to that Wayshrine, so you go ahead and travel. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is when you do that, it starts a countdown. I think it's 10 minutes, but if you try to Wayshrine shortly after you've just Wayshrined, if you're like, oops, I went to the wrong place, bam! It's 11:26. It's a lot, but you see it ticking down. So just remember, if you Wayshrine to somewhere and it hasn't been that long, it's going to cost you to do it again. Now, if you just use the Wayshrine, if you're out in the wild and you're kind of close to a Wayshrine, you can just go to the Wayshrine and use it and travel anywhere for free. So remember that. Next, we're going to go over some combat tips to help you out. And the first is not standing in stupid. And you may be asking, what exactly is stupid? This, my friends, this big old red circle of doom, that is stupid. And if you stand in it, it will hurt you or kill you, especially at lower levels. So if you see one of those, you want to walk out of it. I'm being bad right there. But what you want to do is, if you see that, you want to either, walk out of it like that, or you can block it. You can block an attack by holding down your left and right mouse buttons or left and right trigger on console. And as you can see, it consumes stamina each time you're being hit while in block. So the length of time you can block will be determined in how much stamina you have. So you can either block or you can dodge roll. And you can dodge roll by double tapping any direction by default. That also consumes stamina, so if you're out and you're fighting and you dodge rolled, preferably in the direction that takes you out of the stupid, and you don't have enough stamina left, you can always try and walk out of it. But these are some good survivability tips while you're in combat. And that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and sub if you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next episode of Noobing and Nirn. Have a good day!